Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today. I am here using the April Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat. It's hard to believe it's April, but yes it is, and this kit is gorgeous. It has us remembering God's faithfulness. And I do have an unboxing video over on my channel, and I have that linked in the description box, as well as I'll link Lindsay's unboxing video also on our design team. And I'm landing here in the book of Joshua, where God has just brought the Israelites across the Jordan River. And he has told Joshua to set up a pile, if you will, of 12 large stones. And this is to be a memorial so that they and then all generations to come can remember God's faithfulness and how God has led them through. So I have selected the sticker, this cardstock sticker that is that pile of stones. Now, how I'm going to use it, I'm not quite sure. So I've taken a makeup brush, just a cheap makeup brush from Dollar Tree or Dollar General, I'm not sure which one. And I've used that to just brush some color onto my page. And this color is Right Persimmon it's a Distress Oxide ink. And now I'm going to do some monochromatic stamping, some tone on tone stamping. So I just want my page to be all one color, primarily one feature color. So now I'm taking these poppy stamps. Y'all, I'm terrible with my flowers. I don't know one flower from another except really a rose, maybe a tulip. But anyway, I didn't realize these were poppies. I knew they were just pretty sweet little flowers. But in my unboxing video, somebody made a comment, Rebecca made a comment that these were poppies. And I knew that poppies were memorial. They were memorial flowers. They were symbolic for remembrance. On Memorial Day, people wear poppies. And I knew also that it takes us back to the poem Flanders Field, where in World War I in Belgium, all these poppies were growing up, but there was so much death that had occurred in that field. So I love how Aaron Davis and Danielle created this kit, and they used the poppies here in this kit. It comes together so beautifully. So I wanted a whole field of poppies on my page. So I used a combination of the Right Persimmon flowers, and then I also used in the Creative Retreat color Licorice Black, the pigment ink, and I stamped those, but I made them light. I wanted all of those flowers to be light, so I stamped them off first. That's the second generation stamping. So I got the first ink and then I stamped that off onto some paper, onto some cardstock scratch paper. Now what I'm doing is creating some little die cuts. So I cut those out, I stamped them, then I cut them out off screen. You can see those right there. One just fell into my black ink and it has a big mark across. So now I'm stamping the word remembrance onto the label, and I'm going to create a little word fetty of my own that says stones. Although we do have the word fetty that says stones, but again, I want to keep this page all in the same color palette. I love the colors that we have in this kit, but I wanted it all to be in this coral color. So I decided to make my own, and you can do that. You can use the stickers that are already there, or you can make your own. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to use that pile of stones over there, but they are smaller scale than the poppies. So I think I'm going to end up using them up at the top of my page away from the rest of the poppies. And now I'm figuring out my title. So I want to use the stamp that says remember. And now I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to say faithfulness. I spelled out faithful with the alpha stickers, but I don't know if I want to say faithfulness, or that's not going to reach across. So I decide I'm going to use the alpha stickers to say, remember, I am faithful, because that's who God is. So I'm trying now the faithfulness, but then I put the N back. So God is always faithful in our lives. He was faithful with the Israelites, leading them in the wilderness out of Egypt and then in the wilderness for 40 years, giving them shelter, giving them protection, giving them deliverance, giving them food, and always being there for them. His presence was there with them in the pillar of fire and in the cloud. And he's in a visible sense, and he's always with us. And Joshua and the Israelites saw his power and his work when he had them cross the Jordan River. In the dry river, he separated the river. So that's why they, even though they often would complain and forget how faithful he was and that deliverance that he would provide. And we are like that too. We forget, we complain and we grumble, but we need to remember how faithful God is. So God had the Israelites set up a visual reminder so that they could, and everyone behind them, coming after them, could remember how faithful he is. And we need to set up those reminders too. And that's what Bible journaling is for me. It's a way for me to visually remind myself how faithful God is. So that's one thing I love about Bible journaling, is that it's kind of my Ebenezer. It's kind of my remembrance stone. It's my remembrance of God's faithfulness. I love going back through my Bibles at times, especially at dark times, but even in the good times, just going back and remembering how faithful God is and how God has led me through in the dark times and in the droughts and in the times of abundance. And that is one of the references that Aaron makes in the devotional. So I'm taking my pile of stones and I'm placing them up at the top. So they're going to be kind of my tab up at the top. And that allows me to use both scales because the flowers are larger. I imagine that pile of stone that they set up, the pile of stones, was much larger than these poppies. So I wanted to separate those, but I am using a couple of the cutouts up top just to bring those to the top too, those elements. So now I'm using this sweet washi tape to just ground it up at the top, to anchor it, and then I'm using it at the bottom. And here I'm going to use this washi tape to actually create a tab. So I just stuck some on some cardstock, and now I punched it out with my tab punch. And here's where I'm going to use my label and then that little piece of wordfetti that I made. And then I need to use of. I need to find an of. We have a sticker that says of, but again, I want to keep it in this coral, either in the coral or the neutral black. So I'm going to make my own. I'm taking one of the wonky hearts and I stamp the word of on it. So I'm making it work for me. Now, in my next page, I'm going to use all the colors because these colors are gorgeous. So I've got the cluster up at the top, and then I've got my title element, my title area and focus area down slightly below the middle, and then I'm going to have my journaling section below that, and I'll do my journaling off screen where I talk about how God is faithful in my life and I need to remember that. Then I'm putting my numbers for my date using the stickers down at the bottom. Right now it's hard to see because they're actually on the washi tape. So I'm going to come in with a pen and outline those. I'm using the little stamp that has the stars just to give a little more texture background to the page. And then I'm also going to come in with some black splattering. Now this pen is actually designed to write on slick surfaces since I'm writing on the washi tape. So I will make sure to link all of my products that I use in the description box, and I will also link, of course, the Faith Art Box. It is an affiliate link, as well as some of my products, so just be aware of that, some of the products that I've used. But you certainly want to check out the Creative Retreat kits and the Facebook group where you can just get all kinds of inspiration. You want to check out the blog posts over on Creative Retreat on the website, because the design team just comes up with some beautiful entries with the kit. And not only that, the blog posts are just, it's the heart behind the art. And we've got some beautiful hearts on our team, the women on our team. And we've got a lot of new people on our team this month for this term. So I invite you to check them all out. So that right there, you see me using my powder tool to get rid of some of the stickiness. And I also use the white gel pen right there to make those letters stand out a little bit more, and the numbers. So here's some still shots of my page. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. I'll be sure to check those out. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye-bye.